Hello everyone, peace be upon you all. Now that you know what micro is and what focus is, let's get started with the actual teaching. We are going to start with clicking focus and small armies. Now small armies has two types. We are going to start with 1 unit fights. Now 1 unit fight has also two ways. 1 unit same stats fight and counters fights. Now in 1 unit same stats fight, getting the first shot will ensure you victory. If I give the first shot, then he gives the second shot. He'll die and he will not get the last shot and I will survive. Although you survive, your unit will be on a very low health. So if you don't want your unit to be in very low health, don't start the fight in the first place and run away.
Walking. I find the scout. I attack it first to get the first shot. He's not noticing until I attack him and he notices and he fights. But I already got the first shot and I'm supposed to win. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If the enemy unit has better stats, the fight is pointless, so run away. If you can't, fight to the bitter end and give that sucker as much damage as possible. Trapped or have a slower speed than the enemy. Like here, if I run, there's no point. I'll die and get killed, and I did no damage. As for here I fight, and I give the knight some damage, at least. Now sometimes the enemy just stand there on stand ground, like the common scout fights in the Dark Age, where the starting scouts always start on stand ground and whoever focuses first gets the first shot and wins. Now a more common scenario would be like this. I have a scouting knight and I happen to pass by another enemy knight with the same stats, and normally he'd be on aggressive stance and it will focus the first enemy unit that gets into its line of sight. And I see an enemy knight chasing me down, I'd focus it as well. So we focus at the same time. So who'd win this shit? Oh, okay, red wins, probably because he saw me first. So let's try another scenario. The enemy knight is attacking one of my buildings and I can see him from a faraway distance because he is in my building's line of sight. So there is no way that he would be the one who focused me first. I am the one who focused him first because I saw him from a faraway distance. And he didn't see me. So I should win, right? Right? No, so calm down. It isn't red who always wins. Sometimes I win and sometimes he wins, and the results is always random. So there is no specific way to win this fight, except with using hills, of course, which is another story for another video. I'm talking about maps like Arena, for example. Some guys in Reddit suggested some ways and explanations. Some guys said that there's always a first shot, as we've never seen both scouts dying at the same time, not a single time, although we kept doing this for hours. And maybe it's just a matter of millisecond between each hit due to some poor pathfinding or rotation. So I made sure that the units face each other and walk in a path of walls, but still is random. Some other guy said that they do happen at the same time, but there can be never simultaneous equations. What? Equations? What the fuck? Not equations. That there can never be simultaneous actions, and one always must occur before the other. So in case where they do occur in the same time, generally player 1's actions are calculated first, then player 2, So actually player 1 has an advantage. What he says is not false, like when all the players build wonders at exactly the same time, the system cycles through the players and player 1 wins, then player 2 wins, then etc. You get it. But in our case, sometimes red wins 6 times, then I win 2 times, then he wins 4 times, then I win 8 times. It's random. But it still might be true, as we didn't try 1,000 times or anything. So we didn't calculate a percentage for who has an advantage, but this still supports the random theory. Some guy offered a way. He said that if you run away, then turn around by focusing him, you'll always hit first. Which is wrong. It doesn't work. It's random. I even tried in both Wobbly and HD to make sure that there is no bugs or something, and it works in HD and fails in Wobbly or the opposite. So in conclusion, if you see a unit passing by and you focused him first without him noticing, you'd win that fight. And if you see a unit standing on stand ground and you focused first, you'd also win that fight. But if an enemy unit is chasing you down and you focused him, or an enemy unit is attacking one of your buildings and you focused it from a faraway distance, or both of you is passing right next to each other and both of you focus at the same time, the result is random. Although the result is random, the result would be in our favor either way, if we win or we make the enemy unit useless. And if you see an enemy unit chasing you down with higher stats, you should run. Unless you can't, then you should fight. And if you see a unit with lower stats, chase it and kill it. Now this also works with archers. But with archers, while the enemy is dying, his arrow would be flying at me and both of us would die at the same time. Like this. Although both of us dies, I can ensure that no one will use that unit again. Now, counters fights. But before getting into it, it's needless to say that you must know what units counter what. I will flash a table pretty fast. You can pause if you want to see them. Units between brackets means works but not really considered as a counter. Well, this is not a deep explanation for counters, but at least it gives an idea for those who have no idea what counters are. So, in counters focus, you use your units in order to focus what they counter and avoid their own counter. Here I made 3 scenarios to show 2 armies who counter each other, and whoever uses counter focus better wins. I have a monk and a hand cannoneer. The hand cannoneer kills the halberdier and the halberdier kills the monk, and the monk kills the onager and the onager kills the hand cannoneer. So here I use the monk to focus down the onager and avoid the onager with my hand cannoneer. Then use my hand cannoneer to focus the halberdier. Now here, red did a mistake by focusing the hand cannoneer with the halberdier and not killing the monk fast enough, nor killing the hand cannoneer with the onager either. Here's one more example. I have a skirmisher and a halberdier versus a hussar and a cavalry archer. The hussar kills the skirmisher and the skirmisher kills the cavalry archer and the cavalry archer kills the halberdier. So I use the halberdier, focus down the hussar and avoid the arrow fire of the cavalry archer, and use the skirmisher to focus down the cavalry archer and avoid the hussar. In a sense that they protect each other's weaknesses. I'm using slow motion to explain what's going on. Here I'm using the skirmisher to focus down the cavalry archer and moving the halberdier to focus the hussar. The hussar is heading to the skirmisher and also the cavalry archer, which is a mistake. The cavalry archer should focus the halberdier, not the skirmisher. So here I move the skirmisher to get away from the hussar while my halberdier is hitting the hussar. my skirmisher is going to die, so I'm going to attack the cavalry archer to do something good before it dies. So here the hussar and the skirmisher dies, and here the cavalry archer is already on half health and my halberdier is on full health, so I'm going to kill the cavalry archer and survive this fight. Although the red team has cavalry archer and hussar with more health and more mobility. So this is my win. Now here I have a hussar which kills the skirmisher, and the skirmisher kills the hand cannoneer, and the hand cannoneer kills the champion. So here I use the hand cannoneer to kill the champion and avoid the arrow fire of the skirmisher, and use the hussar to kill the skirmisher and avoid the champion. Here I do the shit that they focus down the hussar, which is a mistake. I use the hand cannoneer to focus the champion, and I run with the hussar to kill the skirmisher. But here I take a lot of damage from the champion, so I decide to get away. And my hand cannoneer is still focusing the champion, and the skirmisher is focusing the hussar while it's supposed to focus the hand cannoneer. Now he does a great mistake. Then the champion goes to the hand cannoneer and leaves the skirmisher with the hussar, which is quite the opposite of what he was supposed to do. Don't forget that Red had the ability to win each and every fight of these fights. It's because that he focused the wrong units and didn't evade the right units. So he wasted a lot of damage on what counters him and took a lot of damage from what he counters. So never feel lazy to focus down what you counter and evade what counters you. And here I say again, that is what counter focus is, and it makes a lot of difference. So I hope you had fun throughout the video and learned new things. So see you in the next video.